The story starts with a boy catching up his breath after he stopped for a while from walking. Then he continues his journey while walking above a strange solid ground surrounded by a vast wasteland. A sign of life is in sight when he noticed some insects flying by, then he immediately follows those creatures. In this world, the source of food are those big insects and he prepares his hunting gear ready to catch his meal. The boy shoots his fishing line and successfully catches one of those. The prey struggles to fly away but it's no use, it succumbs to the line with no to little life remaining in it. A much bigger insect is fast approaching above him, and it is going after for his catch for an easy meal. Good thing he pulls the line just in time before it was eaten by it. He picks it up and laughs for he almost lost the catch. Later he descended from above a really big tree, and still carrying the bug with him. A young man named Kana presented the bug to his elders and they praises him for he has caught a bug with lots of eggs. Next, he enters his room and examines the view outside with his hand-drawn map. He smiles and says the lights are moving after all. At the dinner table, Kana tells everyone about how he captured the creature with his trusted fishing gun. He even mentions about the big dragonfly that is hovering around the area and tried to steal the food from him. But one of his family is just concerned about his safety, and advises him not to do something drastic. The main character says he'll be careful next time, and mentions that the bugs are usually gathering around the canopy hole. The old man says the bugs help fix that canopy hole and that is why we avoid overhunting them. After that, Kana brought food to the signkeeper. At the same time he is teaching the boy how to read and explaining the meaning of these words. The boy then asks what is a prayer. The old man replies that is when people need a higher power stronger than they are. They surrender themselves to a higher being, so that they can be protected at all times. The signkeeper also tells a story. Back when people still lives in a village, they usually travel to different places just to collect these signboards. But most of the orbital spire trees began to wither away, and almost all villages have been wiped out after that. One day, they found a man that fainted in the middle of the road and it turns out he was a reader. That man also taught me how to read but the villager says reading signboards was useless and they think I am an idiot. Kana asks where did that man come from. He answers that the reader's village was destroyed as well, and he was traveling the canopy all by himself. It's a harsh reality out there he says, where he found no survivors at all. Kana mentions about the moving lights he is seeing lately by the snow sea, but the old man just says it's just bugs he is seeing down there. The boy insists that they are not creatures, and he thinks those are lights made by people living below. The signkeeper asks if he wants to go there to check on it, and Kana just simply nodded no. Outside the orbital spire tree is brimming with mystical creatures hovering around it. Then a mysterious group is traveling by pack while riding these snow creatures and they are following this so-called floater above them. One of them tries to get it using a hook, but the creature he's riding can't jump high enough to reach it and he fails. But the captain insists to push through and a girl named Liliha says this is the only way they can get to the land of the sage. Good thing the wind is on their side and the floater seems to stop in mid-air. They worry about having a heavy snow and then the guy attempts another one to use his hook to the floater but again he misses it. A looming danger is nearby when they see a Valgue ship coming to their direction from behind. A soldier confirms the target and now he's giving signal to press forward. On his third attempt, he successfully hooked the floater but the enemy ship started attacking them using big boulders. Some of the cavalrymen fell down to the seawater below them. The attack continues, and they are being shot with arrows by the soldiers. The captain has been attacked. Then he suggested to cut the rope of the basket and Liliha bravely engages in the fight trying to protect the cargo they are carrying with them. Now they have been surrounded and outmatched, and the guy pushes Liliha to the balloon for safety. He then cuts the rope and pushes it again while uttering his last words about saving Atland. Unfortunately, she sees her good friend meets his end as she escapes to the sky above. Soon later, the floater flies beyond the hole of the canopy and the boy while in the hunt, shoots the balloon and heroically runs towards it saving the unconscious girl inside of it. Kana first thinks of putting some oxygen mask on the girl, and then he gazes on the balloon as it flies away aimlessly. Later, the boy's family is flocking at the outsider and is curious of her strange clothing. After the elders left, the hero touches the girl's cheek and surprisingly she shouts on top of her lungs. She now sees the boy and asks about his name in which he responds it's Kana. She also asks what happened before and the boy explains everything about the balloon flying away. The elders come back with the signkeeper and the girl thinks that he is the sage of the canopy. She also introduces herself as Liliha, the princess of Atland and she's here to seek the sage. But the old woman disappoints her by telling, he is only the signkeeper of this place. She then goes outside looking around her, as she cannot believe that such a world exists above the sky. Next at the dinner table, the girl tells a story about her village called Atland that resides at the foot of the orbital spire tree. Everyone is in shock hearing that, because they believe that down below is nothing but snow and sea underneath. This delighted Kana, as he's been telling everyone before that the lights he is seeing are moving. The elders tell Liliha that there used to be villages on top of the canopy, but as the water dried up, the only village left they know is this place. Then they ask what does she wants with the sage anyway, and the girl responded in a serious tone that the world they also living in is in the brink of destruction. For you see, the ground is surrounded by snow and ocean floor, so the area they living in is on the foot of the orbital spire tree. But one day, enemies from another country called Valgia comes with a massive fleet, as they are known to steal precious water from other nations. They are the ones who also invaded my country as well, but both will lose anyway, until we figure out the solution of water shortage. She added, it is believed that the sage has been granted powers, and that he can make unlimited water as well. Then the girl pauses for a while as she is still hurting, and everyone is concerned, telling her to get some rest first. Unfortunately, the girl says she must hurry to go back to Atland as the negotiations will be ending soon. The elders disappoints her again because they don't have a mean to go to the seafloor themselves. After that, the boy then gives her a tour by taking her first to the food storage, and Liliha was surprised by the amount of bugs in one place. Kana asked if they also eat bugs in her hometown. He added, she already ate one yesterday that is called the pupae soup, and this made the girl beyond speechless. He also shows her how they drain the water from the tree, and the girl says they do the same in their village. Now outside, Liliha is thinking out loud if there's a way she could go back to the seafloor safely, but Kana tells her that there's no rope long enough to get you there. At the same time, the elders are gossiping how it'll be nice if the girl could stay here to live with them, and everyone agrees. Outside, Liliha notices something from afar, and it's the floater. So she risks crossing over a steep branch for a chance to get a hold of it. Unfortunately, she lost her footing and fell right towards a tree hole where the big insects keep their nursery eggs inside. The girl felt something slimy on her hand, seeing now countless of insect eggs behind her. A looming danger approaches as the mother insect attacks her, and the girl struggles to escape, but she keeps slipping on the branches. Then a steel hook has been shot that scares the big insect to fly away from the threat, and it's actually Kana who comes to her rescue, and he approaches her to know if she's alright. But it's not over yet as they hear an insect crying for reinforcement. For a moment there, they saw a glowing green creature before them. And then a much bigger insect is coming to their way angrily, but luckily it gets stuck in between the tree branch that suffocates it, until the insect falls down by its own. Later, everyone got worried after hearing what happened, and then the signkeeper has some great news to Liliha. It's about on how she can get back to the seafloor, but it will be dangerous, and then showing her the tools that she can use to get there. Kana wonders because there's no rope that can reach the ground. One old man says that he can retrieve the rope once they get to their destinations and then repeat the process. The only problem is, he can no longer climb up afterwards. And by using the bark knife, he can open the branch and shave a hook into it for the rope. And so they did. They both descended the big tree, and the girl almost fell when she loses her balance for a second. Kana suggests if she wants to get a rest for a while. Watch this next video. See you on the next one.